Sorry, I know.
Video that we were given last night that was released by law enforcement here showed the minutes after that when the person they were looking for was able to carry something off to the edge of that door and then jump off. As it was explained to me, this campus is sort of built into hills, if you will, and so the buildings are not necessarily level, if that makes sense. So he was able to jump. It was not an incredible distance, but in some distance from the roof, as you can see in the video here, to the ground without really hurting himself, and then start to run across the lawn there. This would have been at roughly the same time those 3,000 people who were at the Charlie Kirk event started to realize that the shot had been fired, and then started to run as well. He was far enough away that you don't see them in the scene. You do see vehicles start to pass.
Okay.
It seems to my eye that he slows down. This was likely an effort to blend into any other movement that was happening there. When this video was released last night, we were told that the goal was to job the anybody who noticed something looked like a person moving across campus, moving out into streets. This is not an isolated campus. He was able to get into a little area, left the right way, carrying something in the video there, and then sort of slip into a neighborhood and get away. So it seems at this point, as our reporting here with officials here in just a few minutes, it seems as though the photos that were that someone was able to take out the first one in those photos. And that was exactly what law enforcement did, that those images were clear enough that somebody who knows it, recognizes from the photo.
Should I maybe sit there? I guess
we'll get confirmation that the record has been made and more details about the person.
You're not using this one, right?
We are, okay, perfect. Oh, perfect, okay.
Did you name me?
Yeah, this is the chat one that I think is
Test, test, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Test, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Test, 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 test. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We got the notification that there was going to be a briefing just a few minutes before President Trump made those statements on television. And so, as we've been told yesterday, developments are happening rapidly in this investigation, where we know that two sources were brought to bear.
Yes, that is planned.
FBI investigation here. No individual teams that have been obviously going after the crime scene here, but also combing through all the videos, all the photos that have been sent in by the public, and then also interviewing somewhere in the neighborhood of 200 people throughout the course of the investigation up to this point, trying to gather details. And so it's really been a little bit around the clock effort by law enforcement.
They want you to die.
They're still trying to build their case, right? We know that there's someone who is now in custody, that there's going to be a prosecution that happens at this point. So having that rifle in your hand, that works perfectly. Bolt-action rifle, as it was described, is going to be something that can be restored in prosecution going forward. We know that the federal law enforcement is working to trace that weapon, and that's the sort of information that can come together that can be helpful in the prosecution once we get to that stage. And like you said, I think right now a lot of people concerned and worried that the person who was responsible for the shooting was still out there. Those folks are going to be hearing this news this morning. They just don't feel that someone is
7:30.
someone is in custody.
So 7:30 is the earliest probably.
Of the crime that happened here on Wednesday afternoon.
Okay, I'll tell Eddie, thank you. Hey, Eddie, Nick's audio is going to be on audio channel 2.
Yeah.
FYI. Yeah.
Yes. I do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Cool. We're in the mix now. Well, obviously, anticipation. We are waiting to get more information. We are waiting for the opportunity to ask questions, to try and fill out some more of the details, to add to that fantastic reporting that Evan was just giving you on air now. I would guess that by the level of preparation...
For those that didn't hear, 7:30 at the soonest, so at least 30 minutes, possibly more.
Just hearing now, it's going to be at least 30 minutes, John, before this press conference starts here on the campus in Orem, Utah, where we will be getting more information. We expect that Kash Patel, the director of the FBI, will be here. I imagine that the governor of Utah might be here. Of course, the Utah Public Safety will be here. And they have in the past given us information, and they have also taken a limited number of questions. So we are hoping to get that chance to fill out, to ask questions, to really get more of a picture, more of an idea of how this transpired. John.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3, mic check, mic check. There's a press conference.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mic check, 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good with that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Everybody good? Keep going? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Check 1, check 2, check 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it's for you guys coming in, 7:30 is the earliest start time for this now, so you guys are all aware. We good? Everybody? We'll do another check in about 15. Keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Check, check. 1, 2, check, check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Check, check, check. 1, 2, check, 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 check. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Checking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll come back up in about 10 or 15 for another one. Thank you.
Yeah, hi, Matt. You have to think that this one would be concrete. I have to say, rather than thrown together hurriedly, we were expecting a news conference starting right now, but we're told that's been delayed by half an hour at least. There will be a full lineup ready by our line director when they come to the podium and reveal the details. We have all been scooped, haven't we, by Donald Trump live and exclusive on Fox and Friends, bringing you all the latest news. The president, just before he went on that show, was told that they had their man, and details were sketchy by his own admission, but that wasn't going to stop him. What appears to be the case is that a family member recognised the individual. He's still in his yesterday, and from that video making his escape, running across the room, dropping down the ground and making his way into the There seems to be, according to the list of the president, a minister involved, somebody religious, might have gone to the father of the alleged shooter at that stage. According to government, that the father convinced his son that he should turn him in. They are said to have gone to a U.S. Marshal around about 11 p.m. last night. Donald Trump, the president, said he's aged about 28 or 29, to be sure. Our understanding is that he is in his early 20s and is from the state of Utah. The arrest was executed by Utah law enforcement authorities. I think, Matt, it would be a fairly quick matter of establishing whether or not they do indeed have the right guy. You'll remember they have evidence from the scene, the palm print, the forearm print. They have a footwear impression, so that's all ready to go for when they made an arrest. And it will be a question fairly rapidly, I suspect, of matching the evidence to the individual in custody. But I would caution, and we have been cautioning all morning, don't forget this is the third guy they have taken. Don't forget the FBI director said with absolute certainty they had the man who had committed murder only to have to correct himself on social media within a matter of minutes. So there is a caveat to everything. But if we are to take nobody less than the President of the United States actually, this manhunt has come to a success.
So far, I haven't seen but I have still securing.
Ich hätte ganz gerne mit Sebastian. Okay, kann er nicht Okay. Also ja, okay. Ja, die Pressekonferenz verschiebt sich um eine halbe Stunde. Es wäre eigentlich genau also es wäre besser dann. Genau, weil dann können wir in Ruhe okay, dann für die nächsten Spiele. Ja, okay. I mean, as okay, is what the president said on Fox that a minister or pastor not convinced the father of this individual verdict something and also said he was 28 or 29 years old. I didn't realize that he'd be up there for a long time.
I'm not in the shop, right?
And I asked them when they got my rifle if they were able to get any DNA fingerprints on it that possibly identify the shooter. They said that was something that they were working with. So we don't know exactly how they identify this individual or if they use his name that means he was himself in
I don't think it's on.
Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Gotcha, all of them. They said the mic check was just super overmodulated on that audio. The podium, yeah.
That's great. Wir sind in der nächsten Stunde. Das hat sich, ich habe gedacht, das ist nächste Stunde. Wir warten. All right. Okay, cool. This is the
Jim, control room's asking, are we going to have 2 channels, one from Podium, one for questions from here? You're getting that? Yeah, answer is yes. No, but reporter or they're not passing a mic around. No. So I'm channel 2. Yeah. So Podium is channel 1. I am channel 2 on this one.
Test, 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 test.
Commissioner of the Department of Public Safety here. We were told that Cash Patel, the director of the FBI, was in attendance as well as some other leaders who've been working on this investigation over the last couple of days. And so going through exactly the sorts of questions that we looking at answers to or asking the officials as they gather here is a real desire to know. Obviously, we're going to find this person, why specifically.
Check, check, check.
Yeah, of course.
Sources tell me this
suspect has been taken.
It's certainly different today than it was yesterday. When we got here yesterday, we were able to have a little bit of
The FBI obviously the state
talking about parts of it. It's not the entire parts of the against today. Some of that was reported off, not even, I should say, as frequently as it was yesterday. Something else that was
Yeah, hi, Matt. That's right. Tyler J. Robinson is the name of NBC are reporting. Trusting back to 5 sources. As you say, that sounds like it has been the bottom. Matt, we'll soon tell us that this news conference was due to start half an hour ago. It's been delayed, so we'll soon tell directly the NGI is due to host that along with others who were involved in making this arrest. It was made, executed by Utah state authorities. There is an address for Tyler Robinson's only 4 hours from this university, Matt, where you see that visually what that says about the ties we have to this particular institution. Well, the university assassination took place, but for officials to release the name of the suspect tells me that there's a high degree of confidence to the folks of what we have heard from the president himself, like Donald Trump. You need to check his he himself said that some of the people say heights quite confusing. But at this stage, as I say, the 5 sources appear high degree of confidence. They have their back. They will be very quickly to establish whether there's time because she's tied into the murder. Remember, there is evidence handprint. They will have DNA. They have the finger impression where he made his escape running across the bridge, jumping down onto the ground. Right now, they will be executing various strands of the investigation during searching on his contacts. The man himself, this man, looking for him, university as we have been told. But he's interested. Indeed, that's the primary source of information. Did you or did you not kill Charlie Kirk? Donald Trump says that the family were involved in handing him over the CRP. The involvement of ministers is clearly connected to the family. He has said that family member recognised, or officials say family member recognised the imagery put out by the authorities, and that, as the president said, maybe they got lucky. They settled here, and that's clearly the intention when these still images are put out, whether or not there's a baseball cap, shades, disguise involved. Ultimately, there will be somebody out there who knows the suspect that they want to trace, and that appears to be what's transpired in this case. I would say, in terms of the overall atmosphere here, it's been a heady sense of grief more than anything else. Sure, the debate in the politics rage on with reverberate across this country. But I was at a vigil last night held in town, well organised, lasted for several hours. I spoke to the mayor and I said to him, what are the emotions you see in your mind? And he spoke just about a predominant sense of sorrow, sure, there's anger. And there's a connection, I think, to this particular event with this particular community because it was so popular. There were so many people there, 3,000 and more students who fled in panic, who witnessed the horror, but also 3,000 people who attended the event, held hosted by Charlie Kirk, with whom they clearly had some kind of connection. They wanted to spend time in his company, listen to what he had to say. They witnessed the most horrific spectacle. So there are many people involved investing in the events of 48 hours ago, and to that extent, it does spread a bereavement widely through this community. Sure, politics, they bubble away, and much talk about the implications of this for political debate. Where does it go from here? What form does a long-term reaction take in a country where political violence is on the increase, is embedded in the political culture? I suppose the discussion now turns towards that, and I suppose we'll see how that pans out over the longer term. But right now, the priority is one of police work, is one of taking an assassin, a killer who had been on the loose for 48 hours, sitting in behind bars and proceeding towards justice and trial and everything that involves. Authorities here at the news conference last night, they say that they are looking for the death penalty in this case. So right now, I suppose, grinding the legal process kicks in, making sure that everything is done appropriately and properly, and that the legal process takes its proper course, and that involves questioning principally of the suspect who's in custody, speaking to people who knew them, and of course interrogating why this happened in the first place. Questions this morning at this news conference will be about some of the detail reported that hasn't been confirmed by the authorities. Reports like writing on casing, shell casing. There are reports that was all about conscious war and all about political motivation or apolitical motivation behind the assassination. We can ask these questions later on now that the authorities might be in a position to expand on that rather more. But yeah, the question is now focused on who the individual is, why did he commit this, and what are the wider foundations, and does it indeed amount to political violence? That has been the big assumption, but that actually has been a mystery as long as the identity of the shooter has been a mystery. Nobody's been certain what was behind this.
On that right now, my guess is they should go upstage.
I'm based in LA. I'm one of our staff.
Chris. We talked very briefly. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, sorry.
This morning as well. So as we await this conference is supposed to start in just a few minutes, we're starting to see more law enforcement come out of the last 30 minutes or so. We saw them coming into campus this morning about an hour ago. A caravan of bikes that was FBI agents as well as the law enforcement. So as we monitor this morning, again, we're still waiting for that press conference. A lot more information about who this person is and perhaps the motive behind why they were at that event. What exactly happened?
Yeah, and that is a noble cause, isn't it? But I do wonder, the United States right now, it is clearly a politically divided country, and at moments like this, when such a high-profile, influential, and significant voice on the one side of the political debate has been assassinated. Clearly, there's trepidation about where it all goes
No, we have
from here
this,
typically,
we haven't
and in the
got
past,
direct
events
confirmation that he
like this
really
have happened, and
my
our
guess
country
is,
generally,
this is my
from all sides,
educated guess, that in fact he will
takes a step back and looks at where the country stands, and typically there will be a coming together, a call for looking how bad things can be, and contemplation about how much worse.
So my guess is he will,
That's
but I don't think that's
typical. That's certainly what we have seen in the past, but I do wonder where we are in the United States at the moment, whether or not this country has gone past that point. And we will find out in the days, weeks and months to come. But it's a problem. Political violence is an established problem here, and it's a danger hyping it up.
Well, that's a
I was
great
interested
question
to
because
hear
it's really
one of the officials
changed
last
from
night
yesterday
at the
to
lectern
this morning
during a
when
news
we arrived on campus.
he issued a warning to people in general. In fact, he said, in the words of Charlie Kirk,
This
talk
morning
to your
it's
family. He
different.
did
There
point
are
that
more
there are
crimes
many people out there,
around
Russian
campus.
bombs and
There's
so on,
portions
who
that
try to
can walk
give
through,
traction
but
to
most of it
division
is
back on something like this. The message here last night was, don't let that turn your
but
head.
also
And
too, there's a
there are
very
strong intellectual, widespread voices who are urging your camp to be many ways Charlie Kirk was one of them. So the message here last night was vote for the message to the guy from everybody is grieving right now and steer a peaceful path. Difficult, of course, is that there are many people who won't listen to the message. In a country that has ready access to arms, it can lead to
No announcements.
kind of horrific event we saw here 14 years ago, and clearly it's a fear of Europeans.
It was interesting when he did in fact say that, and he thought perhaps that suspect might have been a college student here on campus, an employee. We don't know a lot about that suspect right now, as you mentioned, Tamara, but as we learn more in the midst of having this press conference, perhaps we might understand the motive, who this person is, where they come from Utah, not from Utah, from Utah, perhaps here a student. So we this advisory that again, Chris Martin, former police chief, he's been in law enforcement for a very long time, and he is making an educated guess, like many of us. No worries.
So we do not have any time update, but this will be news stuff 2 weeks from
Yeah. You and Trevor. I'm just kind of thinking about it.
Do a quick mic check again.
Check one. Check 1 2. Check mic check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. 1 2 3 4 5 6. We're hoping to get at least a 3-minute warning when they start walking, but we haven't got that yet. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Everybody good? 1 2 3 4 5 6. Good.
I think it's no.
Not really.
sense to try to get him on the walk.
Like 2 minutes, they start coming, and I'm talking about it.
So still no official word on the start time. We will try to give at least a 5-minute warning on that, but we'll do our best on that.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
They're welcome to ask any questions
Yes.
they want. I don't.
Yes, I will.
Ja, ich war mal drauf.
So,
Ich glaube, so war Minuten. Alright, sure.
Turn your mic. His mic's off.
We need my mic.
Yeah, we need his mic.
We have to. Huh? I mean, I haven't touched it either, so.
Is that Nick's mic or is that someone else's mic?
1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3.
Eddie, do you hear Nick?
Okay.
He said it's extremely low.
If it's possible,
Yeah.
I think I'll be proactive. Just assume that.
Well, we are hearing that it is not going to be now. We do not have an exact start time. We are told that we will hopefully get a 5-minute warning when that happens. I'm seeing press officials are gathering on the balcony above me, but no word yet on exactly when. We hope to be able to give you a 5-minute warning when that comes. John.
Okay. I was sitting here yesterday. I still owe you.
Nice guy, mustache.
Okay.
I'd say if he comes over here,
He's a tight end.
I'll offer him like only because he's literally like I've worked in this force patient and
yeah, that's the really unfortunate thing and the tragedy here. As I mentioned to you yesterday, I am a widow, and when you lose a spouse, the first thing that you're going to say for your children is safe, and those children need to be well and they are on the line. They are not. You know, it's kind of so much are asked now. Videos are circulating, and I do understand that some social media companies are trying to take some of those videos down that show the worst of the violence, but they're not going to get all of them, and that is really the difficult thing, particularly when you think about children as they grow up. I just have a little bit of a housekeeping note that I want to pass along to you. Sergeant Kimberly was just here earlier saying that they will give us a 5-minute response. Will be yes, we are at the very least 5 minutes out or more because we have not gotten that 5-minute warning when this press conference is expected. But we are expecting that law enforcement will tell us that number one, they have a suspect in custody, and two, who this person is. Again, in this reporting, sources have shown these Tyler Robinson, they come about it is right here to confirm that with FBI, local law enforcement. I will continue to see that
I think so.
that that first interview is something that we are able to secure. Again, waiting for this press conference.
We're led to believe that Cass Patel, the FBI director, will be front and centre of it, but there will be other players, arrest executed by Utah state authorities. They have been represented throughout these occasions. I think you'll see a lineup of all the agencies involved at this moment of a successful conclusion. They will presumably all want their input and demonstrate their involvement.
Gotcha.
Kash Patel's an interesting one. I wonder if he will get questions today. Last night was a news conference. He was present, having flown in, and of course he's been controversial in this particular episode. Controversial to the extent that you wonder about his long-term future. 48 hours ago, in the immediate aftermath, soon after, he tweeted, he posted on X that the suspect who had committed the killing, paraphrasing, was in custody. Said that with a degree of certainty, certain that this individual had committed murder. Of course, that does many things. Public react, drop their guard, perhaps, in an area where there is a killer on the loose. It also does have an influence, in fact, on the investigation at the time of them being asked to be wary, but also contribute information. So that was one tweet, public. Well, there would be a reaction to that such a law. What he did very soon after that, that suspect has been interrogated and has now been released. So, that was a message. That was a mixed message coming from the President, Director of the FBI. So, that was a question for him last night. But as a news conference, at the time of Jones, want to ask questions, need to ask questions, and there are questions that need to be because of the benefit of the investigation need to be related to the public. There was no question. States only nobody can ask anything. So nobody could ask him. Actually, it's not way out. Ask them about what was going to solve. Did you misrepresent the investigation at an early stage? Did you endanger public safety? These are questions that are very easily. There's a statement, interestingly, on a White House official. He was asked about President Trump's view of Kash Patel and his handling of this Charlie Kirk affair. I'll read you the quote. This is from White House officials. Director Patel is working night and day on this case. Anyone who doubts his resolve and dedication, especially when Charlie was such a close friend to him, simply as using this extremely sad moment as a disgusting act of political games.
Not yet 7,000 tips.
This is justice, and this killer faces through the bath of the justice system. So, I suppose a bolstering of Kash Patel of sorts, but I do wonder if the President managed to point out before we are full of this protein of support, or indeed if his position at the top of the FBI is something that was actually clearly that's not the issue of the day right now. The issue of the day is this arrest, who is Tyler's officer, why they came to this behind this institution, high profile political figure in this country. I think the impression that Donald Trump has pounced everybody into this breaking of the news. We got a late shot to get to this place. We were able to do the news conference at the top of the hour. That was 45 minutes ago, and you've been told it's been delayed. We'll give you a 5-minute warning. Seems rather more than 5 minutes away to me. So the press people traveled into Utah Valley University, where the shooting took place. No indication as to when this is going to start. They will want to be dotting their I's and crossing their T's. Kash Patel will be hosting this meeting, and certainly want to float inaccuracy on this one. So, there are reasons, I suppose, why there is why they want to cross-check what the President has told us live on national television. We have a name. There will be ongoing searches of Taiwan witnesses. Obviously, his family referencing with the evidence they have, DNA
was a police enforcement to my right here.
they say this
Don't see him anywhere. I know one of them is a former
so all of that work is ongoing right now. I suppose in terms of the detail of the press conference, that's up to the I guess it's all details. Should mention everything. All the furniture, journalists, international media are in place. Just waiting for national television.
That was pushed, I should say. So time is of the essence, but again, we're waiting for them. They will shut down press conference when they want to start.
Check 1 2, mic check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Mic 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Check 1 2 1 2 3 4.
Now and again, but it's something that we have to accept. Like, he's on record as having said there will be fatalities on planet Earth. There will be fatalities, one or two, but that's the price that we have to pay. Gun ownership, which is the right thing for the United States. So America, I get the sense that is a widely held view. One thing that strikes me, and we've had this shooting, we have had other shootings in the past few weeks. When they take place, there is an actual debate, I find, across the media about access to guns. It's almost not part of the discussion any longer. It is for us. We have a with this business of regular facilities of gun violence, and yet America turns its head. The notion is suggesting that there should be restriction of access to almost not part of the discussion, I find, in response to events, which is almost as the United States has moved on from that every year. A notion that it will embrace.
our correspondent is outside.
Yeah.
Hello, hello, testing, testing. Hi, everyone. We are 4 minutes out from starting the press conference. Thank you.
Right, so we just heard right there that we are 4 minutes away from this press conference, and things are just now starting to develop because we're seeing the FBI agents here up on the ballot. Things are just now starting to develop because we're seeing the FBI agents here up on the ballot. Yeah, we are wanting to know two things. Is a suspect in custody? We were able to confirm that later on in the President Trump
Eddie, can you hear me? Hey, anybody in the control room?
They just asked me to get in the shot, so I'm
Okay.
here. But I don't know which camera they're taking for the actual, because they were having issues with the fill.
What are you seeing now?
So I like it. And you get free Wi-Fi on the flights.
Okay. Can I?
Type in your T-Mobile.
Yeah, but I think we go back to Governor Spencer Cox. His motto as and being able to talk about politics in a way that we are able to have resources.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, I just spoke to a gentleman yesterday who was here from overseas. He said the last time he was in the was 2002. And that was, of course, the reason why he was there. So this is what brought him back to cover his here. Again, as I mentioned, not something that we always talk about.
They want me to sit? I was just told they were going to come through. So I should sit? No. That's right, John. We were given a 4-minute warning 3 minutes ago, so we are expecting any second senior officials coming in. We are told to expect a similar cast of characters that we saw last night. That would be the governor, that would be the Utah Public Safety Commissioner, that would be Kash Patel from the FBI, and the FBI's special agent in charge. John, any second we should be seeing them come into this room for the press press conference, that 4-minute warning has now expired. So any second now, John, we should be hearing more information in this case.
3 minutes ago. Okay, so we've got another this I just want to mention to campus calls. So students are not able to come here. And now, as we understand it yesterday, as I mentioned, I talked to the public about some of the classrooms of laptops and cell phones still in classrooms. They did go I also want to mention too something that I found inside of the classroom where they escorted the students to show us what was left behind by some of these students, and I just happened to be walking in the classroom. I bent down and picked up a girl's ring. Somehow in the midst of the chaos, she lost her ring. I picked it up. I put it on the professor's desk at the front of the classroom, hoping that whoever that ring belongs to, she will be able to find it. And another classroom we went to, desks piled up in front of the door. And that's what some students even told us, was that the doors wouldn't lock. They wouldn't lock. And so to be able to make sure that they were barricaded inside, they had the men in the classroom stand in front of the doors to make sure no one was able to get in. And then we saw desks piled up as well. Oh, yes.
Sorry, do it. Can we go there?
Oftentimes people say, well, you know, I may experience this, but it's not trauma. Trauma is really, really hard. And this wasn't the kind of trauma that I might be tolerant. But I really, really pray and feels like that they have been impacted in my someone help us together. It's not weakness to ask for help. It's not. Please ask for help.
Sure.
Yes, there are.
I do.
Press folks who came out trying to ask a few questions that all the details of those officials came so we expect to see the governor of Utah, the Department of Public Safety's commissioner, alongside the director of the FBI, Cash Patel,
Here they come. Here they come. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, who is that?
It's not the whole that we're talking about.
Yes, well, so this press conference was scheduled to start about an hour ago. It has been pushed, it has been pushed, it has been pushed. I am now seeing officials walking into the room. They will be moving to the podium any second now. I'm trying to see if I can see Kash Patel. I cannot so far. They are moving towards the podium, and we are going to get this information now. We have been waiting for about an hour for. So, yeah, officials moving towards the podium. There is Kash Patel, the director of the FBI. So I believe I should get out of the way, and we should see what these officials have to say.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. At today's press conference, we will hear from Governor Cox, FBI Director Kash Patel, and Sheriff Mike Smith. We also have with us Utah DPS Commissioner Bo Mason, Lieutenant Governor Deidre Henderson, FBI Special Agent in Charge Robert Bowles, and local and federal law enforcement partners. Following the remarks today, Governor Cox, Director Patel, and Commissioner Mason will take questions. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We got him. On the evening of September 11th, a family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident. This information was relayed to the Utah County Sheriff's Office and scene investigators at Utah Valley University. This information was also conveyed to the FBI. Investigators reviewed additional video footage from UVU surveillance and identified Robinson arriving on UVU campus in a gray Dodge Challenger at approximately 8:29 a.m. on September 10th, in which he is observed on video in a plain maroon t-shirt, light-colored shorts, a black hat with a white logo, and light-colored shoes. When encountered in person by investigators in Washington County on September 12th, in the early morning hours, Robinson was observed in consistent clothing with those surveillance images. Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years. The family member referenced a recent incident in which Robinson came to dinner prior to September 10th, and in the conversation with another family member, Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had. The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate. The family member also confirmed Robinson had a gray Dodge Challenger. Investigators identified an individual as the roommate of Robinson. Investigators interviewed that roommate, who stated that his roommate, referring to Robinson, made a joke on Discord. Investigators asked if he would show them the messages on Discord. He opened it and showed several messages to investigators and allowed investigators to take photos of the screen as each message was shown by Robinson's roommate. These photos consisted of various messages, including content of messages between the phone contact name Tyler with an emoji icon and Robinson's roommate's device. The content of these messages included messages affiliated with the contact Tyler, stating a need to retrieve a rifle from a drop point, leaving the rifle in a bush, messages related to visually watching the area where a rifle was left, and a message referring to having left the rifle wrapped in a towel. The messages also refer to engraving bullets and a mention of a scope and the rifle being unique. Messages from the contact, Tyler, also mentioned that he had changed outfits. I know there's been speculation as well as to the writing on those casings, those bullet casings, and I believe we have that as well. And I'll share that with you now. So the area north of Campus Drive Road where the suspect crossed over, you saw some of that in the video that we released last night, consists of a grassy area with trees on the edge of the UVU campus. Investigators discovered a bolt-action rifle wrapped in a dark-colored towel. The rifle was determined to be a Mauser Model 98 30-06 caliber bolt-action rifle. The rifle had a scope mounted on top of it. Investigators noted inscriptions that had been engraved on casings found with the rifle. Inscriptions on a fired casing read, "Notices bulges, capital O-W-O, what's this?" ? Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist!" ! Catch! Up arrow symbol, right arrow, and symbol, and 3 down arrow symbols. A second unfired casing read, "Oh Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Chow Chow," and a third unfired casing read, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO." We are indebted to law enforcement across the state who has worked seamlessly together, local law enforcement, state law enforcement, and our federal partners with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. We're grateful for everyone who worked together in such a short amount of time to find this person and to bring justice. I want to thank the public who has been so engaged, reviewing videos, helping us with sending in tips, and helping us get to this point. I want to thank the family members of Tyler Robinson who did the right thing in this case and were able to bring him into to law enforcement as well. I especially want to thank the family of Charlie Kirk, Erica, Charlie's parents, his children. I want us to be thinking of them as we bring justice in this case. They will be involved in that justice. We will be working very closely with them as we move through this process as well. This is a very sad day for our country, a terrible day for the state of Utah. But I'm grateful that at this moment we have an opportunity to bring closure to this very dark chapter in our nation's history. With that, I'll now turn the microphone over to the Director of the FBI, Kash Patel.
Thank you, Governor. This is what happens when you let good cops be cops. The FBI and our partners are proud to stand here today together to bring justice to the family of Charlie Kirk and honor his memory. I want to express my deep gratitude to President Trump, the Vice President, and the entire White House who have been so incredibly supportive with both resources and just personally to the FBI as a team. They had our backs the entire way, and I just want to express my gratitude for giving us the resources we need to operate in this space to bring this sort of justice at this sort of speed. In 33 hours, we have made historic progress for Charlie. Governor Cox, our partnership has been absolutely incredible these last few days. Our partnership will endure. Your state and local partners, your sheriffs, your DPS community has been unbelievably impressive in the hardest of times. And a case like this cannot be solved, cannot be brought without partnering with your state and local authorities. The FBI has a certain role to play, and we will play that role, and we will lead out for the federal government. But Governor Cox, we are so grateful for your state partnership that led out on this investigation. A little bit of the timeline. Charlie was shot at 12:23 p.m. on Wednesday. The first FBI agents arrived on scene in 16 minutes with chiefs of police at 12:39 and secured the scene. The FBI immediately launched fixed-wing assets. We utilized these assets to transport personnel, specialty technicians, hostage rescue teams. We also utilize these assets to go back and forth from the East Coast and here in Utah to transport forensic evidence and other evidence that will be analyzed and is being analyzed at our FBI laboratories in Quantico and other laboratories, including the ATF. At my direction, the FBI released the first set of FBI photos of the suspect at 10 a.m. local time on 9/11. Then, shortly thereafter, the FBI reward of $100,000 was released at 10:45 a.m. local. Myself and Deputy Director Bongino arrived on the scene at approximately 5:30 p.m. on 9/11. The governor led a press conference last night at approximately 8 p.m. where at my direction the FBI released a never-before-seen video of the suspect. We also released new images to the public of the suspect. And just last night, the suspect was taken into custody at 10 p.m. local time. In less than 36 hours, 33 to be precise, thanks to the full weight of the federal government and leading out with the partners here in the state of Utah and Governor Cox, the suspect was apprehended in a historic time period. And I want to highlight what Governor Cox said. This would not have been possible without you, the media, and you, the public. That's why we went so public, so fast, and we're so transparent, and we're committed to that transparency. The crime scene, just a little bit there. It is a large crime scene. State and local authorities, along with federal authorities, processed that crime scene quickly. And I even had the ability to walk through that crime scene and walk through the steps the suspect took to learn more about what was needed and what resources we needed to bear to create a full picture for the FBI and leadership back in Washington. Furthermore, thankfully to state and local partners, forensic evidence has been seized and continues to be garnered. Forensic evidence has already been evaluated at FBI laboratories in Quantico and state and local authorities here. We will continue to process evidence as we see it, as we collect it, and we will continue to deliver it to Governor Cox and his team. Last night we had a total of approximately 7,000 leads. As of this morning, thanks to your great work, we have over 11,000 leads that were called in to the FBI. And we are running out every single lead that we can. Every one of those leads will be run out. The arrest is a testament to the dedication of good law enforcement being great, and partnerships in law enforcement, which I've tried to highlight as my tenure as the director of the FBI. There is no better relationship for law enforcement than the FBI to partner with state and local authorities, and you've seen it here in these last few days. The FBI Salt Lake field office, along with our offices in LA, Phoenix, Denver, San Antonio, Las Vegas, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, our headquarters component in Quantico, all participate in the FBI. I want to express my deep gratitude to the employees of the FBI, the men and women, the evidence response team tacticians, the special operators, the agents, the support staff. You have done monumental work in historic time when the public, who had a right to demand such an expeditious solving of an investigation, the FBI answered that call diligently, critically important to our nation, and we delivered. And I'm proud to be their leader, and I'm proud to be the director of the FBI. This is very much an ongoing investigation, as the governor said, and we will continue to work with state and local authorities to develop the investigation, to provide them the evidence they need for their ongoing prosecutions, and we will be here to answer every call they absolutely have, as long as it takes, for as long as we need to find and apprehend whatever suspects were involved in this crime. Lastly, to my friend Charlie Kirk, rest now, brother. We have the watch, and I'll see you in Valhalla.
Thank you, and good morning. I would just like to take a few minutes as the sheriff to express my gratitude for everybody who has played a part in this investigation. As you know, it's been a vast, a complicated, and a very, very fast-paced investigation. You're looking at people standing up here who are running on, if they got an hour's sleep in the last couple of days, they're probably lucky. It has been very taxing. It has been so impressive, speaking on behalf of the local law enforcement, to see the cooperation that we've seen in this type of case. Across the state, sheriffs, chiefs, our state partners have stepped up and have come to the call on anything that we needed. Our county chiefs have been phenomenal. Our Utah County Attorney, Jeff Gray, who's standing up here with us, has been phenomenal in leading us through this investigation. I would like to thank the federal government for their resources, their assets. Our local team here, our FBI team, has been extraordinary in helping us work through this and bring this person to justice. Most of all, I would like to thank the public, and specifically, I would like to thank the public who turned to prayers and who turned to positiveness for us. I would like to thank them on behalf of the law enforcement community, because we needed those prayers. That's what we needed to get through this. We needed your support, and you gave it to us. We needed your patience, and you gave it to us. And I would like to thank you for the Kirk family, because that's what they need, is your support and your prayers, and that will get us through all of this. So thank you everybody for everybody that have stepped up. We've had such a phenomenal response to this. Thank you.
I also want to give a special thanks to the Attorney General and the Department of Justice. Their unwavering support and their commitment to justice is shown true here. And without AG Bondi and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche and the resources they brought to bear, we would not have been able to complete our mission. And I just want to say special thanks. It's an honor to be a part of the Department of Justice.
Thank you again to our incredible law enforcement team who has worked so hard. Sheriff, I got a solid 90 minutes last night, so I'm probably the most well-rested person up here. Ladies and gentlemen, I get the microphone, so I hope you'll permit me a moment just to share a few more thoughts about where we are and how we got here, and maybe a little bit of where we go from here. I don't want to get too preachy, but I think it's important that we, with eyes wide open, understand what's happening in our country today. I've heard people say, well, why are we so invested in this? There's violence happening all across our country, and violence is tragic everywhere, and every life taken is a child of God who deserves our love and respect and dignity. This is certainly about the tragic death, political assassination of Charlie Kirk. But it is also much bigger than an attack on an individual. It is an attack on all of us. It is an attack on the American experiment. It is an attack on our ideals. This cuts to the very foundation of who we are, of who we have been, and who we could be in better times. Political violence is different than any other type of violence for lots of different reasons. One, because in the very act that Charlie championed of expression, that freedom of expression that is enshrined in our founding documents, in having his life taken in that very act, makes it more difficult for people to feel like they can share their ideas, that they can speak freely. We will never be able to solve all the other problems, including the violence problems that people are worried about, if we can't have a clash of ideas safely and securely. Even, especially those ideas with which you disagree. That's why this matters so much. Over the last 48 hours, I have been as angry as I have ever been, as sad as I have ever been. And it was, as anger pushed me to the brink, it was actually Charlie's words that pulled me back. I'd like to share some of those. And specifically right now, if I could, I need to talk to the young people in our state, in my state. and all across the country. As President Trump reminded me, he said, you know who really loved Charlie? The youths. And he's right. Young people loved Charlie, and young people hated Charlie. And Charlie went into those places anyway. And these are the words that have helped me. Charlie said, when people stop talking, that's when you get violence. He said, the weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. The only way out of the labyrinth of suffering is to forgive. Welcome without judgment, love without condition, forgive without limit. He said, always forgive your enemies. Nothing annoys them so much. A few months ago, I referenced this last night, Charlie posted to social media, when things are moving very fast and people are losing their minds, it's important to stay grounded. Turn off your phone, read scripture, spend time with friends, and remember, internet fury is not real life. It's going to be okay. He again said, when you stop having a human connection with someone you disagree with, it becomes a lot easier to commit violence. He said, what we as a culture have to get back to is being able to have a reasonable agreement, where violence is not an option. Now, again, to my young friends out there, you are inheriting a country where politics feels like rage. It feels like rage is the only option. But through those words, we have a reminder that we can choose a different path. Your generation has an opportunity to build a culture that is very different than what we are suffering through right now. Not by pretending differences don't matter, but by embracing our differences and having those hard conversations. I think we need more moral clarity right now. I hear all the time that words are violence. Words are not violence. Violence is violence. And there is one person responsible for what happened here. And that person is now in custody and will be charged soon and will be held accountable. And yet, all of us have an opportunity right now to do something different. I want to thank my fellow Utahns. You know, this bad stuff happens. For 33 hours, I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us. That somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I hoped for, just because I thought it would make it easier on us if we could just say, hey, we don't do that here. And indeed, Utah is a special place. We lead the nation in charitable giving. We lead the nation in service every year. But it did happen here. And it was one of us. But I want you to look at how Utahns reacted the last 2 nights. There was no rioting. There was no looting. There were no cars set on fire. There was no violence. There were vigils and prayers and people coming together to share the humanity. And that, ladies and gentlemen, I believe is the answer to this. We can return violence with violence. We can return hate with hate. And that's the problem with political violence, is it metastasizes. Because we can always point the finger at the other side. And at some point, we have to find an off-ramp, or it's going to get much, much worse. But see, these are choices that we can make. History will dictate if this is a turning point for our country. But every single one of us gets to choose right now if this is a turning point for us. We get to make decisions. We have our agency. And I desperately call on every American, Republican, Democrat, liberal, progressive, conservative, MAGA, all of us to please, please, please follow what Charlie taught me. I'll just conclude with words I share often from a friend and author, Yuval Levin, who was asked if he was optimistic about our country, and he said, "I'm not optimistic." He said, "I hate optimism." God, that sounds bad. But he said, optimism is a vice. It's this idea that good things are just going to happen. And he said, in the history of the world, good things have never just happened. He says, I'm not optimistic, but I am hopeful. And hope is the virtue that sits between the vices of optimism and pessimism. Hope is the idea that good things are going to happen because we can make them so. I still believe in our country. And I know Charlie Kirk believed in our country. I still believe that there is more good among us than evil. And I still believe that we can change the course of history. I'm hopeful because Americans can make it so. Ladies and gentlemen, we're happy to answer any questions you might have.
Governor, can you please speak to whether the suspect is speaking with authorities and his demeanor, Tyler Robinson, when he turned himself in?
I cannot speak to that.
Governor, how do you interpret the engravings on the casing?
Well, I will leave that up to you to interpret what those engravings mean. I think the clearest one that says "catch fascist," there's not, and by the way, that's like catch like a ball, catch this. That's I think that speaks for itself.
Governor, you talked about this level of hatred that this person expressed at a dinner. Beyond that, is there anything in your view that you discovered that may have radicalized or changed him to prompt him to commit such a horrific act?
There's nothing more that we can share at this time.
Governor, you indicated that he had been communicating with a friend on Discord about the gun. Do you anticipate any more arrests?
We do not at this time have any information that would lead to any additional arrests.
Do you believe he acted alone?
Yes, but the investigation is ongoing.
Can you talk more about the family, what they had to say about the suspect?
How he came into custody of police and where he is right now, Mr. Robinson?
Yes, so right now, Mr. Robinson has been booked into the Utah County Jail. You heard the president this morning report that he was taken into custody, that his family and a friend helped to deliver him into custody of law enforcement in Washington County. For those of you that don't know where Washington County is, it is the southwesternmost part of the state of Utah. It's about a 3.5 to 4 hour drive from here, where we are right now, and that's where he lived and where they turned him in. Please, go here.
More about what the family is saying about Tyler Robinson?
I can't share any more than what I've already shared. Yeah.
Governor, do you have any details on how he got back to Washington County and how the gun was obtained?
How we obtained the gun? The gun was found. Was found here.
Obtained the gun and how the shooter then was able to get back to Washington.
So I don't have much more details on that. We do know that he drove. We had his car here on campus, and then we had his car going south back to the St. George. It's actually the city of Washington in Washington County.
Is he talking with authorities and did he discuss a motive?
I'm sorry?
Did the suspect plan to carry out any other attacks?
We don't have any information that would lead us to believe that. Yes, in fact, it was just released. Yes.
Is he talking with authorities and did he discuss a motive?
I can't answer that right now.
Can you clarify?
You've
spoken very eloquently about trying to reunite this country. Do you feel that this is a watershed in American history?
I absolutely believe that this is a watershed in American history, yes. The question is what kind of watershed? And that chapter remains to be written. Is this the end of a dark chapter in our history or the beginning of a darker chapter in our history? Look, I mean, if you look at true political assassinations in this country of someone of this stature, this feels a lot like the late 60s, and having one so gruesomely displayed on camera in all of our hands and in all of our pockets. We are not wired as human beings biologically, historically. We have not evolved in a way that we are capable of processing those types of violent imagery. And by the way, we've seen another one with a gruesome stabbing very recently that went viral. This is not good for us. It is not good to consume. Social media is a cancer on our society right now. And I would encourage, again, I would encourage people to log off, turn off, touch grass, hug a family member, go out and do good in your community. That is happening, and it's happening organically right now. I had a friend in a small city in Utah who said, we're getting together, the Republicans and Democrats in my little town are getting together to have a discussion tonight, last night, just to find a way to find their better angels. So yes, this could be, I mean, you know, again, you have to go back to JFK to have seen a video live of something like this happening. I wasn't born until 1975, but I know that things were really dark in the late 60s. Sorry to some of you. I know some of you were there. But this is our moment. Do we escalate, or do we find an off-ramp? And again, it's a choice. It's a choice, and every one of us gets to make that choice. Two more questions right here.
Could we clarify that the release of those enhanced images at 8 p.m., the timeline that Director Patel gave us, led to the arrest at 10 p.m.? Is there a direct connection between those two events?
I cannot comment if there is a direct connection or not, but all I can say is that that through some process, the family came to know that this had happened.
One more thing, Governor. Could you just clarify the clothing issue you mentioned earlier? Was he changing outfits?
Correct.
Just clarify this?
Yes. So when he's first spotted on campus, he has different clothing on, and then he changes clothing on the roof, and then changed back into that clothing at some point, so that when he was apprehended, when he was arrested, the clothing matched the clothing he had on before the shooting here at UVU. Last question here. Yes.
The suspect was from Utah. Can you kind of tell us a little bit more about where, and was he a student here at this university, and is there any history of mental illness?
Yeah. So I don't have any information on the mental illness part. He was not a student here at UVU. He was living and had lived for a long time with his family in Washington County, in the southernmost part of our state. Thank you, everyone, for your great work in getting this information out. I would just say, process-wise, this may be important. I know many of you aren't familiar with the process in Utah. I think it's important that you understand that. Basically, we have 3 days for charging documents to be filed. A CI will be filed. We'll have more information then, more detailed information as those charging documents are filed in preparation for a preliminary hearing. So 3 days. So we would anticipate then that early next week those charging documents will be filed. We will obviously be working. The county attorney will be working very closely with Mr. Kirk's family as those documents and decisions are prepared and made. Thanks, everyone.
Do you guys want Nick? After John Miller, what about? After John Miller.
So should I get in front of him?
Yeah, they are going to want you. And it's still on the INC, it's the same one.
偷偷告诉大家，我最近发现了新法宝 Royal Face 逆时奇迹系列，它有活肤露、全效精华，还有精华霜。尤其我皮肤比较偏干，所以我非常的注重保湿。保湿做得好，肌肤自然烹饪。提亮肤色更年轻。 抚平皱纹，超有感，而且气色变好。用心保养，每天都更美一点。美吧。